A narcissist's ego instantly shatters when a super empath does these 7 things. Let me hit you with a hard truth. Narcissists don't really ruin people. What they do is reveal them. And when the right person finally wakes up, oh, it's not just tables turning. It's the whole damn house flipping upside down. Narcissists are like emotional parasites. They drain the life out of you the way a leaky straw drains a drink. But here's the thing. They're not chasing weak people. No, they go after the soft souls. The givers. The ones who feel everything so deeply that love is as natural to them as breathing. And here's the twist most people never see coming. Some of those empaths grow. They stop begging. They stop crying. They stop wasting energy proving their worth to someone who was never listening in the first place. That's when you don't just have an empath anymore. You've got a super empath. Not a buzzword. Not a social media trend. A real person who's been dragged through hell, spit out, and still rose back up with sharper eyes, stronger boundaries, and absolutely no tolerance for bullshit. And that's the exact moment every narcissist dreads. Because a super empath doesn't fight with fire. They don't need revenge. They don't scream. They don't break down. They dismantle the narcissist's ego quietly, piece by piece, until there's nothing left but their own emptiness staring back at them. Today we're going to walk through 7 brutal signs that a super empath is silently breaking a narcissist apart. No drama, no chaos, just calm, cutting clarity. Like Hemingway said, the world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places. Super empaths. They're the ones who came out of the fire forged into steel. Sign number 1. The empath pulls back their energy. Ever seen a narcissist unravel without even knowing why? It's like watching a fish out of water, flopping, gasping, desperate for air that isn't there. See, narcissists don't actually love you. They love how you make them feel about themselves. You're their spotlight, their cheering section, their endless supply of validation. But when a super empath pulls the plug and stops reacting, the whole show collapses. No more drama, no more applause, just silence. And for a narcissist, silence isn't quiet, it's a death sentence. It's the loss of control. One day, you're crying over their tantrums. The next, you're just watching with calm detachment. And believe me, they feel it. They sense it like a storm rolling in. So they poke, they bait, they toss little emotional grenades just to get a flicker of reaction. But when a super empath decides they are done, that's it. No speeches, no grand exit. Just a quiet turning of a key and the sound of a door slowly closing. And that silence, it isn't empty. It's packed with strength, boundaries, and the one thing a narcissist can't fake or steal, your absence. The supply is gone. The game is over. They just don't realize it yet. Sign number 2. The empath sees through the show. In the beginning, the narcissist looks untouchable, like some master illusionist who always has the right trick at the right time. Smooth words, effortless charm, the whole act polished to perfection. And the empath? They want to believe. They see the broken child under the armor and think, if I just love hard enough, maybe I can fix them. But sooner or later, the curtain slips. And what's behind all the glitter? Not power, not depth, just a scared little tyrant wearing a costume, holding a megaphone, pretending to be 10 feet tall. The day the super empath stops seeing the narcissist as special is the day the whole performance starts to collapse. No more excuses. No more, they're just complicated. No more, if I give them one more chance. They recognize the manipulation for what it is. Planned, not accidental. The outbursts weren't passion. They were weapons. The guilt trips weren't vulnerability. They were traps. And once the empath sees that clearly, the magic trick fails. The lights cut out. The audience walks away. Because when you finally understand the act, you don't clap. You leave. Sign number 3. The empath speaks with precision. Here's where it gets brutal. The super empath doesn't need to scream, throw insults, or match chaos with chaos. That's the narcissist game. Instead, they speak with razor-sharp clarity. No wasted words. No theatrics. Just truth, delivered calm, steady, and undeniable. This isn't love. It's control. You hurt me not because I'm weak, but because my strength threatens you. One line like that is enough to shatter the facade. Because deep down, the narcissist knows it's true. They've always known. Truth doesn't need volume to destroy. It's a wrecking ball because it's accurate. It cuts straight through the fantasy and leaves nothing to hide behind. Super empaths don't weaponize truth. They embody it. And for the narcissist, every sentence is a mirror they can't smash. Sign number 4. The empath holds boundaries like stone. A lot of people talk about boundaries, but most don't enforce them. Super empaths are different. They've been bled dry from saying yes too many times. Yes to keeping the peace. Yes to self-betrayal. Yes to carrying pain that never belonged to them. Now, their yes has turned into no. Not the kind of no that needs an explanation. Not a no that waits for approval. A solid, unmoving no that just is. When the narcissist pushes, the super empath doesn't flinch, doesn't justify, doesn't shrink. They simply stand. And that kind of presence terrifies the narcissist, because their entire power rests on other people bending, breaking, or backing down. But this boundary is alive, sacred, non-negotiable. It says, I don't need you to understand. I don't need you to agree. I'm done bleeding for your chaos. And dysfunction has no answer for that, because there's nothing more dangerous to a narcissist than a soul that refuses to be controlled. Sign number 5. The empath walks away without a show. You know what absolutely rattles a narcissist? Not anger, not tears, not begging. It's peace. Calm, grounded, untouchable peace. See, they thrive on drama. Chaos is their favorite game. They poke, push, and provoke until you blow up, and then they point the finger back at you. That's the cycle. They start the fire, and you exhaust yourself trying to put it out. But when a super empath finally checks out, the script breaks. No screaming, no grand finale, no last emotional plea, just stillness. And that silence, it's like a bomb going off without a sound. The narcissist can't handle it. They panic. They'll rage, sob, beg, or try to love bomb their way back in. Why? Because their entire power supply depends on your reaction. No reaction, no control. No control, no power. But the super empath, they are not frozen. They are free. They've done the work. They've sat in the grief, faced the pain, and walked through the fire. And when they leave emotionally, it's final. No warnings. No threats. No, you'll regret this. They just slip out of the game, quiet and steady. And for the narcissist, that quiet is devastating, because they're used to pulling strings and hearing the puppet dance. Now, they are screaming into emptiness. And the emptiness doesn't answer back. Sign number 6. The empath becomes the mirror they can't escape. This one cuts the deepest. Not because it's loud, but because it's unshakably real. When the super empath stands in their power, they turn into a mirror. Not a flattering, soft glow mirror that hides the cracks, but a raw, unfiltered one that shows the narcissist exactly what they've been running from their entire life. And here's the kicker. The empath doesn't even have to say anything. Their calm presence, their clarity, the fact they've done their inner work, it's all right there. They've faced their wounds, sat with their shadows, and grown stronger from it. So when they look at the narcissist, there's no awe left. No admiration, no fear, just truth. And narcissists, they can't survive that. Their whole existence is built on controlling how people see them. That's why they gaslight, guilt trip, and spin stories. They need to keep the illusion alive. But when the empath stops playing along, when they stand there like a lighthouse in the storm, the mask doesn't just slip, it starts to crumble. Every lie bounces back. Every manipulation falls flat. The narcissist sees themselves reflected, and it's unbearable. That's why they escalate. They'll lash out, smear, double down on the gaslighting. Not because the empath did something wrong, but because the mirror shows too much. And the empath, they don't waver. They don't justify. They don't run. They just hold that mirror steady. And that reflection, calm, cold, undeniable, shatters the narcissist's ego in ways no argument ever could. Sign number 7. The empath chooses freedom over revenge. This is the final blow, and it doesn't come with fireworks. It comes quietly, like a soft door closing. The narcissist expects rage. They expect the tears, the long angry texts, the endless search for closure. They expect you to orbit them forever. But instead, the empath just rises. They've already walked through hell, burned so deeply that their pain melted into wisdom. And once that happens, revenge isn't even on the table anymore. They don't want payback. They want peace. And peace is something a narcissist will never understand. It terrifies them, because peace means the game is over. No more chaos to stir. No more hooks to dangle. No more strings to pull. The narcissist tries everything. Fake apologies, sweet promises, new masks, new tricks. But the empath doesn't bite. Not because they are playing games, but because they are simply gone. Gone from the illusion. Gone from the addiction of being understood. Gone from the story that kept them small. They've stepped into something bigger. Real purpose, self-respect, and alignment. Not for show, not to prove a point, but because it's who they are now. And that shift, that quiet glow of evolution, the narcissist can't touch it, can't mimic it, can't even compete with it. They are stuck in their same tired loop, recycling lies and manipulations, while the empath is out there building something real. A life, a future, a self. That's not just the end of a relationship. That's the end of the narcissist's hold. Because when the empath stops needing revenge, they become untouchable. And freedom, true freedom, is the one thing a narcissist can never own, never fake, never destroy. So let's call it what it is. The super empath doesn't defeat the narcissist by fighting. They defeat them by waking up. They stop bleeding for dysfunction. They stop mistaking sensitivity for weakness. They stop explaining their worth to someone who was never listening. No tantrums, no schemes, no explosions, just stillness, just boundaries, just truth. They pull their energy back. They see the game for what it is. They speak with clarity that cuts deeper than rage ever could. They become the mirror, the one reflection the narcissist can't manipulate. And then they walk, not with fury, but with peace. And that peace, it's devastating, because when the game ends, the narcissist is left screaming into silence. That silence, that's the revolution. And if you felt this in your bones, if you've lived it, you already know. You're not broken. You're not crazy. You're waking up. So here's your reminder. Keep your peace, keep your power, and never hand it back. This, right here, is where the healing starts.